Shalom. First and foremost, I like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harachak Kodash, the bonus of the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this 100% truth. Much peace and blessings be unto you, hopeful elect out there, pushing out this word with all truth and sincerity. It's going to be a quick video on those who believe, in this truth. So this is the book of 1 Corinthians, the 1st chapter, verse 18. For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness. And that's why when you go out to the highways and hedges, or even within your family, you always got people mocking and scoffing, your family members, or just a random pedestrian walking by. They always gotta make that little giggle, that little laugh, or they make that stare. And it's because they don't understand this truth and they hate it, So they're the ones that are going to perish because they consider this thing, which is, salvation. They consider it foolishness. But unto us which are saved, it is the power of Yahweh, which Yahweh Tazah, Yahweh willing. We are of the elect. That's why we call ourselves the hopeful elected, because we hope to be a part of that number. We don't want to die in this place. Not that we fear it, but we don't want to go out like a two-third. That's why we try and go hard for this thing. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. Yep, and that's correct right there. The wisdom of this world is this truth is false. Believing in Catholicity, believing Christianity, this and then a third. Their wisdom is whatever they been taught from a young age. That's the truth, which is completely bugged out. And there's even a quote that says, as long as a society keeps drifting away, people hate the truth. Really paraphrasing right there, because, Esau being, in rulership and being backwards to the bone, changing the ordinances of the earth thereof. People hate the truth. Not only that, but you even had that in the ancient world. And Jake knew who the powers were, but it's that stiff-necked spirit that they all got. So for it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. Which prudent, if you go into that word in the etymology, Salakia, it means knowledge, which it doesn't say there, but if you look right here, it says knowledge, which their knowledge is first grade level. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of the world? Hath not Yahweh made foolish the world, the wisdom of this world? And that's the point right there. That's their wisdom, the world's wisdom. The whole world, which consists of these 2/3, and the heathen, especially Esau, Edom, having these PhDs and these titles, after going to college and studying the Bible major and becoming a Bible scholar. They got the professor, this and that, and the third, and then his name, and they all want accolades because they could so-called understand the scriptures, which they really can't. That's why they always break it down the wrong way. The 21st verse. For after that, in the wisdom of Yahweh, the world by wisdom, their wisdom, knew not Yahweh. It pleased Yahweh by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. And preaching is foolishness in him, But it pleases him, because we're confessing the names of, confessing the names of the powers. All right, going down, verse 25, and this truth is only for the lowly, which the water Yahweh Shemel shall we have this truth. That's why the scriptures say, many are called, but few are chosen. Some basic precepts right there. Because the foolishness of Yahweh is wiser than man, and the weakness of Yahweh is stronger than man. Ain't that the point? Ain't that the truth, I just go to show you how terrifying he is. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. Call unto what? This truth, this faith. But Yahweh has chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. You know, that's why brothers always give the testimonies of how they never fit in the world back then. You know, and even if they did have, you know, a lot of, you know, friends back then, so-called friends, you know, they never, you know, matched that same vibe as them, you know. And that's why we always say we're all spirited, because, you know, we're going back every single life fulfilling our lots. But Yahweh has chosen the foolish thing of the world, the things of the world, to confound the wise, the wisdom of this world, you know. And Yahweh has chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. And even in that, you know, back when Yahweh Shai was on the scene, and he was at the temple, and he was preaching to the congregation, you know, they would always, you know, in astonishment say, "Isn't this the man, the son of the carpenter? Isn't this the son of the carpenter Joseph?" You know, and that's where you get the scripture. You know, actually, I'm gonna get it out in Matthew, and I'm come back right here. I believe it was the 11th chapter or the 10th chapter. Well, I just searched it up right here. So this is the book of Matthew, the 11th chapter, verse 25, and I'm blind. At that time, Yahweh Shai answered and said, "I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, you know, which are these, you know, famous guides, and hast revealed them unto babes," which babes means it goes back to the word unlearned. You know, it means unlearned. And we were all in there at one point. You know, we're you know, brothers were gangbangers, and you know, they were drug dealers, this and then the third in the military. And then one day the Lord gives them the mercy of this truth, and then look at us now. You know, so going back to verse 28, "And base things of the world and things which are despised hath Yahweh chosen, yea, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are." So, you know, this truth is only for a few. And now I want to go to the KJVA and go down to 2nd Ezra's, I believe the 15th chapter. Yep. So verse 3, "Fear not the 2nd Ezra's, the 15th chapter, verse 3. "Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity," which that word incredulity goes back to the word unbelief, if I'm correct. Yeah, this believing frame of mind, doubt about the truth of something. And these people, they doubt the whole truth. You know, that's why you got these conspiracy, you know, that's why you got these posts by these conspiracy theorists, you know, always speaking on this very topic about how people can't see the bigger picture, you know, the strings being pulled. So I'm going to reread it again. "Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee." You know, and they trouble us and speak against us. You know, and that's why it says in Psalms 37, you know, "Fret not." And that was in Psalms 37. And, you know, you got these high and mighty people, you know, these higher ups, and a lot of these Edomites that know this truth, you know, they use their privilege, you know, their benefits, and they get away with whatever they want. You know, and a lot of Drake, a lot of Eve especially, you know, they got butthurt over this thing. You know, and their husbands are in these other bug out camps, but they got that Queen of Heaven spirit on them. So digressing back, "For all the unfaithfulness shall Salaki," going back, you know, that's why they always go against us. They mock and scoff. But, you know, that's ultimately backfiring, because what's going to happen is they're going to get punished for it. Verse 4, "For all their unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness." A synonym to disbelief is unfaithful. "Acting falsely, unbelieving, infidel," which is another word for you know, unbelief, irreligious. Which religion is a thing, you know, it is written in the scriptures. This ain't an Edomite ideology. You know, his ideology is that you get to believe in a religion, but not through the works, which is what he teaches in the Christian in the Christian, in Christian doctrine, which is, off, because the scriptures don't say that. So I'm going to reread it again. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. It's cool to show you more fear of the Lord. And not only that, but not everybody's going to get it. You could have an innocent type of person round about, in your life, but the Lord don't give a damn about him. He has no respect to persons in the first place. So it's lucky. I want her to get out. I forget I was gonna get out. The book of I'll get out Isaiah. Verse 9. And he said, Go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. And actually, I'm gonna read above. In the vision Isaiah's having, the Lord's asking for someone to verse 8. Also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send, and whom will go for us? Then said I, Here am I, send me. Verse 9. And he said, Go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy. It's lucky about that background noise. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert, and be healed. So verse 11, Then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, Until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate. So the Lord doesn't want these people to wake up, which is the majority. The majority of the population in this world as of right now. Only 1/3 and 144,000 servants are gonna make it out. 144,000 men, which are the prophets. Which half of them are still up in the spirit world. But they're gonna be raised up first. Like the elders of the elders. One of them being an example is King Masha, or the high priest Yaquab, which respects be unto them than the spirit world right now. So they just goes to add more fear unto the Lord, because your family doesn't get it. Not everybody you loved will understand this thing. The book of Romans, which I'm just getting out basic scriptures here. The 11th chapter, Salakia. And actually, verse 7. Well then, Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. And that elect is that remnant, is a synonym to it's another word for the word remnant, which you can read about throughout the scriptures, how the Lord's only dealing with the remnant of his people. 3/3, 2/3 are, bugged out, and the Lord's only dealing with 1/3. Well then, Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it. And throughout generation upon generation back in the ancient world, what you would have was a prophet, go and tell his people to turn back. But, like it says in the books of the prophets, the great prophets, like Isaiah and Jeremiah, they would never listen. Even in Ezekiel. Not only that, but you'd have other various precepts and various books saying the same thing. They just don't want to listen. They have a continuous habit of being stiff-necked, which is another word for stubborn. Because they're all childlike. They base it off their emotions. Verse 8, according as it is written, Yahweh hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see. They have a spirit of slumber right now. But what does it say in Micah 2:10? Depart, for this is not your rest. But they treat it like the rest. They're out there doing the same things, Esau wants them to do. All right, you want to go to the clubs and have fun. You gotta take that jab to protect yourself from Crown Vicky right there. But that's the spirit of slumber, which there's spirits for everything. Which are angels out here. The host of heaven up in the spirit world right now. So There's spirits for everything. Spirits of fear and slacky about that. Gotta be kidding me. I have no idea what's happening out here, but slacky. There's spirits for everything. Spirits that are blockers. Blocking these people from understanding these scriptures, according as it is written. Yahweh hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. And David saith, let their table be made a snare and a trap, and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their back away. So these spirits, man, these certain spirits are out there to prevent these people from doing this or to have them do this and that. Lying. These various things. So, an example of that would be actually, I could just go back here and an example of that would be in, I believe it was 1 Kings and Spirit of, if I can find it. Going back to Samuel. No, that's Salaki now. It was when King Ahab was going to go to war. I'll just search it up here. So, the Lord even makes it for his prophets to be deceived on some things. I believe this is it. The 2nd Chronicles, the 18th chapter, verse 21. And he said, actually, I'll just go back. A couple verses. The book of 2nd Chronicles, the 18th chapter, verse 19. And the Lord said, who shall... Slacky, there's a lot of noise. And the Lord said, who shall entice Ahab, king of Israel, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one spake, saying after this manner, and another saying after that manner. Then there came out a spirit, and stood before the Lord, and said, I will entice him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And the Lord said, thou shalt entice him, and thou shalt also prevail. Go out and thou shalt also prevail. Go out and do even so. And if you read into that account, Ahab really hated Micah the prophet because, the Lord never had a spirit, put the spirit on him to, lie. And he told him the truth, that he was going to die. And then Ahab had him arrested, So now, therefore, behold, the Lord hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of these thy prophets, and the Lord hath spoken evil against thee. And, more proof on that would be in Ecclesiasticus, the 39th chapter. And the verse would be, I'll just search it up. 28. There be spirits, and I gotta mark it up. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of the destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Which appease means reconcile, specify, make peace, cause to be made more favorably inclined. So, yeah, man, just like there be spirits created for vengeance, there's also spirits for that, for lying and as blockers to prevent these people from understanding. Anyways, I hope this video was edifying. Lord, will we continue to push first and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, who gave us this truth and put the Spirit on us to keep on preaching even when we feel low and down. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Kahalal Yamla Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this 100% truth. Much peace and blessings been to you. Hopefully, like the author pushing out this word without truth and sincerity. Shalom.